Hey, what is up there, guys? Matthew with Christian Penguin 1990 here again. I decided to do one more political type video because so many of my friends are talking about it, and that is House Bill 2 of North Carolina. Now, for those of you who just happen to run across this video for whatever reason, and you're not familiar with it, which I don't see how you're not because it's in the news all the time, but basically what has happened is North Carolina governor and government decided to make this law to overturn a city ordinance in Charlotte, which would allow people to go into the bathroom that they express their gender as. For example, if a man decided to identify himself as a woman, he could go into the female bathroom, and vice versa. Now, being me, like I always do, I try to research something before I try to make an opinion on it. So I said, okay, well, let me go see what the law actually says because some people might exaggerate, some might lie about it, and so on. So I went and read the law. Now, before I get started, I want you to know that the way it is written, I do not agree with it. It's you don't determine what the person you're after, basically. And I'll go over that in a minute, but yes, it's very badly written. It needs to be rewritten for the purpose that I know they meant for it to be. Sorry, my throat's getting dry. Okay, with that being said, the reason the law was written was to add an extra charge to anybody who entered the bathroom, say a man dressed as a female, and I use that because that's more than likely the one that's going to happen. In very rare cases, will a female do something to a male child or whatever, or a full-grown man in the men's bathroom. It's very rare that it happens. In fact, it hardly happens in 0.001% of anything. So more than likely, it would be a male going into the female's bathroom. So that's why I say that one. But the law was written to become an extra criminal charge on any man dressed as a woman who entered the female bathroom for an illegal purpose, which by that I mean sexual assault, molestation, and rape. And that's all it's for. It's not meant for a law abiding citizen. It's not meant to discriminate against them, although, like I said, the way it's written is not worded that way, so it does sound that way. Now, on that side, if you're a law abiding citizen and you just happen to be transgender and you want to use that bathroom, but you're claiming that this law will keep you from being able to go into that bathroom that you identify with, first of all, it can't. There's no way possible. And the reason I say that is this because in order to keep you from going into a female bathroom, if you're a man dressed as a woman and you identify as a female, unless you've had surgery and you still have everything, they would have to have somebody standing there to check you before you're allowed to use the bathroom, which they cannot do. It's a violation of your constitutional rights of privacy. So for them to be able to enforce it, it's not going to happen. They cannot enforce it that way. Okay, so like I said, it was mainly meant to be an extra criminal charge for anybody who entered that bathroom with an illegal purpose in mind and committed that illegal purpose. It is an extra charge. It is not a ultimate force field that keeps people out of that bathroom. You can't do that. Like I said, the only way to be able to enforce it is if they had somebody actually standing there to physically give you a physical to find out if you're male or female and then tell you which bathroom to go to. And again, they cannot do that because it violates your constitutional right of privacy. Okay? So, to sum all this up, yes, the law was written for a reason, and that reason was to add extra criminal charges to anyone who committed a criminal charge by entering the female bathroom or the men's bathroom, but most likely the female bathroom, that was a man dressed as a woman to commit a criminal act. It is a extra charge to add on. That's all it was meant for. And although the way it is worded, yes, it's worded to where it's against all transgenders, not just the criminal ones that would use this as a way of committing a criminal act. So it needs to be reworded, and that's all. That's all I'm saying is that yes, it does need to be reworded, and a lot of restaurants now, what they're doing is they'll still have the men's bathroom, the female bathroom, and then they'll have a bathroom that's one person, but it's either or. It um so no matter what you identify as, that's your bathroom. And because there's so few of them, it works. And a lot of places are going to that where they have just that one bathroom with that one stall or whatever in it, and that's all they have. And so, I think I heard somebody say one time they wanted to redo the bathroom to add more stalls so more could use it. And they said, well, how many people actually do that? And they said, well, hardly any. They said, okay, we're not going to spend the money for it unless you pay for it yourself. So, um, yeah. So, like I said, a lot of businesses are adding that extra bathroom for this purpose to avoid this problem. Even before this House bill came about, I've seen businesses doing this all the time. And actually, last year, a place where I work, they changed their bathrooms to that. Any of their single person bathrooms, they now have a male or female sign on it. They'll have the split, and on one side of the split will be male, the other side will be female. But it's for the single person bathrooms only. And they said site wide, single person bathrooms are now co-ed. Whoever gets to it first gets to use it. It doesn't matter if it's male or female. But the multi-stall bathrooms, they will remain men and women's. And they're not that far from each other. I think maybe 50 yards apart, there's a single bathroom versus a multi-person bathroom. So it's really not that far from the regular bathrooms. But that's one way of solving the problem. And the problem you have with that side is you have so many businesses in certain areas that they have been there since probably the 60s or earlier, that for them to have to just go in there and um, uproot everything, shut the business down for a while to revamp the bathrooms, to add an extra bathroom, and so on, it costs money. So unless the state's going to pay for it or you're going to pay for it yourself, it most likely will not happen. So in those situations, like I said, they will not be able to have somebody stand there to physically give you a physical to find out if you're male or female and then tell you what bathroom to go to. So they physically cannot do it because if they did it that way, that's unconstitutional. It would violate your constitutional rights of privacy and so on. So hopefully this video helped clear up a lot of the problems with the discussions with this House bill and so on. Like I said, I've said several times before, what's really happening is the media is really blowing it out of proportions for what it was meant to be. Celebrities are doing the same thing by canceling their concerts and whatnot. And I'm sorry, but if you're a celebrity, don't use your status to push an agenda because you really don't understand what's going on. All you understand is what people are saying. And, well, if they're doing that, I want to cancel my concert. Well, there's a lot of people here or there that don't agree with certain laws in other areas. But so why are you going to cancel a concert just because you don't agree with something a state is doing? I mean, seriously, it it doesn't make any sense to me. And that's why if you want to throw a political party for, say, the Democrat Party or the Republican Party, whatever, that's fine. Throw a party. But when it comes to your concerts, for people that have already paid good money to come see you and so on, unless you're planning to issue refunds because you cancel, which I don't know if they did or not, but that's just wrong. I mean, you're punishing others because you just don't agree with something that happened. And by doing so, you get the media fired up. And also by doing so, you're taking a stance one way or the other. You are there to entertain all, not to take the side of a single group. Okay? So stop it. Go on with your performance. If you want to say something during your performance, that's fine. Say something during your performance. I could care less. But to sit there and say you're not going to go to a state anymore because of a law you don't like, that means you're taking a side. You're supposed to be there for the entertainment of all individuals. Doesn't matter if they're straight, doesn't matter if they're homosexual, it doesn't matter if they're transgender. But for you to take the side of only one of those groups and basically shun the rest, I don't agree with that. That's wrong. So stop trying to influence politics by you taking a stance or whatever. If you want to come out on camera on a talk show and talk about it, do it there. Don't punish everybody just because you don't agree with it, okay? But let me sum up the video real quick. Okay, so to sum up, the reason for the law was for them to be able to add an extra criminal charge to anybody who entered a bathroom of their opposite of what their birth certificate said. For example, men going into the women's bathroom, most likely dressed as a female, to commit a criminal act. That's all it was there for. Now, the way it is worded, it needs to be reworded because it covers all transgenders instead of just those that it was meant to target. That I will agree with. It needs to be reworded and redone because right now it doesn't delineate that it was meant for somebody doing a criminal act already. It needs to be reworded. So that I will agree with. Please reword the House bill. That's all you got to do. Now, if they reword it as anybody caught going into a restroom opposite of their gender, and they give the example female to male or male to female bathroom, and you're caught doing a criminal act, then another charge, say a felony, misdemeanor, whatever, will be added to your charges. That I have no problem with because that's the way it was meant to be worded anyway. So that's the way it needs to be worded. But yes, so again, briefly before I end this video, the reason for the law was for an extra criminal charge to be added to anybody who entered a bathroom and with the intent to commit a criminal act. That's what it was meant for. The way it is worded, yes, it does need to be reworded so that it does not sound like it is targeting everybody and doesn't sound discriminatory. Can they enforce it, which would make it discriminatory? No, they cannot enforce it because they cannot violate your constitutional rights by having you physically checked in any way, shape, or form, even by you making you show a birth certificate to use a bathroom. They cannot do that. So while everybody's up in arms about this House Bill 2 law that's going on in North Carolina, you need to understand they cannot really enforce it. Okay? So, and if there's any place that has single bathrooms, my suggestion is you put up on the door male or female on the single bathrooms, and multi bathrooms stay the same. They're male in one, female in the other. But like I said, if a business wants to step up and say, hey, we want to add that third bathroom for them, and then the state needs to start putting something in the budget to allow them to do that because it will cost money. So yeah, that's my 2 cents worth, whatever you want to call it. Personally, that's the way I view it. It was meant to add criminal charges to somebody already deciding to commit a criminal act in the bathroom. It was not meant to discriminate in any way, shape, or form, which is what people are taking it as discrimination. And like I said, there's no real way they can enforce it because they can't physically give you a physical to find out if you're male or female before you use the bathroom because it violates your constitutional rights of privacy. Okay, so everybody just needs to calm down, logically think this through, and just talk to them. It's like, hey, maybe if you reword it like this, it wouldn't be such an issue, whatever. And like I said, my thing with it is after reading it, it doesn't clarify who they're going after. It basically does say all transgenders. So what you need to do, in my opinion, for North Carolina, they need to go back, revamp it, reword it to where it says anybody who went to the bathroom and committed a criminal act, the added charge of felony, misdemeanor, whatever it happens to be, will be added of entering a bathroom of your opposite sex with the intent of da 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 da. It needs to be reworded to that. So that way it covers just the criminals and not the people who had no intention of doing that. So anyway, I hope this help clears up a lot of that for you guys with the House Bill 2 thing going on in North Carolina. And I hope you all have a blessed day, and may God continue to bless you in all your lives, and talk to you next time.